Today, we went back in time to a time where men went into battle wearing 75 pounds of armor.
Greetings, friends!
Our family sold almost everything, including our house in the city, to start a farm in the country. Join us as we share with you our adventures, while we discuss farming, fitness, and everything in between.
And don't forget, we live in a yurt too! We are Farm Fit!
Recently, I had the opportunity to speak with a knight from the Order of the Sun as he was preparing for a jousting tournament between knights at the Renaissance Festival. And as I was going back to the area that he prepares in, it was neat to see the horses that they have and how well they take care of these animals. Because these animals are a part of making sure they stay safe as they get out there to go into battle or for the tournaments.
This is a beautiful horse here.
He's a full-blooded Shire.
Okay.
Normally Shires are much larger, but a bit of a smaller Shire, but he's got a big heart.
So during this time period that you guys are depicting, what breed of horses would have been ones used? Would this have been one?
It depends what the horse is being used for battle or for jousting. We tend to use half drafts.
Okay.
They're sturdy, but they still have the speed and agility that we want for our shows. So this we put on first. It's called a comparison. And in that time period, they would use specific colors or specific heraldry to identify each other, identify friend or foe on the battlefield. And in tournament, it represented either your family or the lord or king that you were representing in that tournament. And just like human clothes, like these are tailor fit to each horse, that they're comfortable and they don't drag on the ground. This was made just for him. And you've got the saddle. What we use is a bit different from what would have been actually used historically in that time period. We use an endurance saddle. They're very light. It helps keep them comfortable. We don't want to add too much weight because we're already wearing all that armor.
Yeah.
Finding a good joust horse is a tricky thing. You know, we don't want to ever force a horse to joust. We want to find a horse that enjoys it and likes his job. So when we find one that does, try to keep them with us as long as we can.
Now, how long does the training typically take to get a horse to be ready to perform?
You know, that all depends on the horse. Every horse has a different personality. Some take to it instantly. Some need a little bit more encouragement or getting used to all the sights and sounds. And there's a lot that comes with our show, from the crowds to some horses have never seen armor before in their life. Some have to get used to that. The impact of the joust, the sound of the hit of the joust. So it really all depends on the horse. Elliot really took to it really quickly. He's our probably most veteran horse. He's our old pro. He took to it real quick. But these are the bridles we use. We use all bitless bridles, so there's no bits at all. This is called the Dr. Cook bridle. So it's just reins, slip underneath the chin. No curb chain, no bit in his mouth. Keeps the horses a lot more comfortable, especially when we're jousting. No matter how good a rider you are, how light of hands you have, you take a big hit and it kind of pushes you to the side. You can't help but pulling the reins a little, so there's nothing in his mouth. Keeps him a lot more comfortable and a lot more enjoying his job more.
That's great.
It was really neat to see how they were taking really good care of their horses there.
Yeah, and their horses were so beautiful. I like the one that was black and white. She was beautiful.
During these medieval times, jousting was a form of entertainment, yet it was also a way for the knights to stay in shape and to stay fit for the times that war would come and they would be needed. These tournaments, replaced the gladiator games, which were much more violent and had far greater casualties. In these jousting tournaments, the victor would oftentimes win prizes and even the honor or hand of a fair lady. Yet the loser would often have to forfeit his horse and his armor. And his armor was a way of keeping him protected.
It's kind of like our locker room, a knight's locker room here.
That's neat. Just sense the toughness in here.
This is my chainmail standard, which protects my neck. And then we basically just start from the bottom up. Just like a hockey player would or a football player would. I've already got my greaves on my shin. They're opened up in the center here so I can have contact with the horse. And the legs. The little straps here. And then around the back.
So once you're fully suited up, how much weight is the armor total that is adding to your
Fully suited up with the helm is anywhere from 75 to 100 pounds.
Okay.
I haven't actually weighed out mine, but
okay,
it's definitely in that range.
that's enough to definitely feel it though.
We definitely feel it. But our armor is custom fit
Okay.
to our own, to each of us. So
Okay.
it disperses, the weight disperses across your body really well.
So what are some of the things that you all have to do in shape to be able to handle dealing with this armor on a regular basis?
Yeah. We have a pretty steady gym regimen.
I bet so.
Lifting, cardio. You can't really put on any weight because this armor doesn't stretch. It's not like normal clothes. Once it's fit to you, you can't really change your body size. Otherwise, you won't fit into the armor.
Yeah.
So next, I'll be putting my cuirass, so the breastplate. So it just flips right over. Freya will help me here. You always want to go front over back because your attacks are going to be coming from the front, so it's just
Okay.
less to catch on. Next will be the arms, which attach straight to the strap on the voiders. And lastly, the pauldrons or the shoulders, like American football pads.
I can definitely see the value in having her helping you out.
I could never do that by myself. Be here all day. You can see the left pauldron is a bit larger than the right because all of our impact is coming onto the left side. Also, the right side being smaller provides more mobility for my right arm to either sword fight or hold the lance, etc. Put my helm on right before the joust.
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet right here for the left arm. And we're ready to joust.
Fantastic.
This bar.
This stuff is pretty heavy duty. This is not plastic.
Yeah, this is spring steel. It's all heat treated spring steel. Yeah. Angle on these right. Get that in there. That's pretty good. There we are. Make sure the angle is right and fair for my opponent.
So back in the day, they were bolted on. The shields were bolted on as well.
It was either that was called a gridded grand guard, which we bolted straight onto the breastplate.
I did not.
Or there was a wooden shield that was strapped with a leather strap.
Oh, okay.
Around the neck and then around the waist. Our style allows for the shield, if it's hit hard enough and at the right angle, the shield can eject from this bracket, which dispels some of the impact, so we're not taking it all. But we absolutely feel those hits.
Wow.
Constant impact Maldron hits me so hard that it tears my bracket right open. Alright.
Well, these are some real hits that you guys have.
They are real hits. They don't tickle, that's for sure.
Wow. Oh, man.
The armor does its job, but we feel every bit of it.
Wow. So I know you guys aren't really trying to hurt each other, so what do you do basically when you're out there?
We're out here every day practicing to temper our aim, to make sure that, we're spot on and always sharp. We are really competing. The lances are solid. If we break a lance, we really break it.
Wow.
But at the same time, we're all friends and we don't want to hurt each other. So it takes a lot of practice to maintain that skill level to be competitive and entertaining but still safe.
That's great, because I could see people thinking that you're out there killing yourself, or go to the other extreme and think you're just kind of just out there playing around.
Right. We find that balance of competition and safety.
Yeah, that's great.
And now that the knights are armored up,
it's time to saddle up and let the games begin.
Welcome to the tournament fields of Fairhaven!
And our competitors were...
for the red team, it was the Order of the Griffin. And for the yellow team, the Order of the Sun.
The points that these knights will earn, both in the test of skill and in the joust, will add into their team total, which accumulates throughout the entire tournament. So with that being said, Don Vincenzo and Sir Aldrin, as you are our jousting combatants, now is the time for both of you to please depart and prepare yourselves in your armor for the fully armored joust!
So, Baroness Selah, what did you think of the Baroness?
I thought she was really cool, and I liked her horse and her hat. Even though her hat's like mine, but her hat's cooler.
Okay, Baroness Selah, for the first challenge, our knights had to
use their lance to get the object off of the pedestal.
And the red team was the first to knock the object off the pedestal.
And they did it several times. And the yellow team was not able to strike the object.
Sir Edward!
I do believe I deserve an extra point because my people are by far the most beautiful people!
And for this challenge, the Order of the Griffin was the winner.
Summon back to the field your teammate, Sir Maldron the Baron of Blackburn and Don Vincenzo di Sicilia!
And for our second challenge came the challenge of the jousting.
Let the jousting begin.
Yeah!
2 points if you lay a strike upon your opponent's shield plate. Yes, sir. Indeed, 2 points if you can hit the shield plate, sir. 3 points if you shatter wood, whether it be your opponent's shield plate or your own solid wooden lance. And Lords and ladies, the highest accolades, 4 points if the knight can impale the entirety of his opponent's across shield upon the tip of his lance and parade it past either of the weapons racks.
And for the first round, the Order of the Sun had their shield broken by the Order of the Griffin. And then came the second round. And then once again, the Order of the Sun was unsuccessful. And the winner goes to...
the Order of the Griffin.
My word, well, ladies, already we're having some spectacular jousting strikes here.
So I felt torn, knowing that we were hanging out with the Order of the Sun in our knight, but then he was the one that lost. But we were sitting on the side of the Order of the Griffin, and they were the red team, and they won. Yeah. So we just had to take a picture. And I just felt tough hanging out with these armored guys, and they were the ones who won. So we just had an absolute blast watching the Knights tournament, didn't we?
Yeah, it was a blast. I loved it.
And it's so cool. And I've actually heard that they are even considering for the 2020 Olympic Games of adding jousting. So that would be pretty cool, especially if they're on horses. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this vlog. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you felt tougher and armored up. We're gonna see you
next time. Grow on.
That's my line again.
I stole your line again.
Neener, neener, neener.
Thanks for watching.
Feel free to leave a comment below, even if it's just to say, hey. Also, make sure you don't miss any of our new videos. So, subscribe and sign up to receive notifications each time we release a new video. Also, you may want to check out these videos right here, and also check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. See you next time.